All right, so this is going to be kind of a quick video. I'm just going to go through now that I've got the cab set up and just listen through a few of the amps today, and then we're going to go in deep over the next week or two as I kind of sort all this out. Greenback Cab ended up with a 57 and a Heil PR20, kind of off axis, and then 57 and a M160 on the vintage 30 cab. May and eventually have an M160. I really like the M160s, but the Heil PR20 is nice. It's kind of fat and dark. When you go off axis, it kind of does what a ribbon does. So there's that. And yesterday, was it yesterday? My buddy Nate came up and we figured out how to get all 5 of the heads in. So this is, the vintage one. This is the modded. This is the AC30. This is the Supersonic 22. I really like that. And this is the Cat 5 Brad Paisley 40, which is one side is basically kind of like a matchless, a Mark Sampson era matchless, and then a tweed. And so I was able to drop that shelf to get that in there. I moved the selector down here, the splitter, or whatever, for the, I don't know what you'd call that, I guess. It's like for all the pedals. It's a looper, I guess, or like a splitter or whatever. So you can go straight in or you can add in different banks. H9s, I'm able to also run in the loop anything I want. It's really nice. And then I got Nixie running, so I've got my my Strymon stuff here running Nixie, so I can do it here instead of down here. It's just easier for me, and I'm blind and I like to just not be, I don't know, it's cool though. Running on the pedals is fine, but and then I also have the H9, so that's running the Eventides. And so what we're going to do now is just go through some of these sounds, relax effects, and then we're going to start digging in kind of one at a time, because I am going to start making music again, my own music. It's like in Purple Rain, there's something else, our music. All right, we're digging in, kids. So, maybe I'll do headphones so I don't have to do any editing to this. Ooh, I'm going to do that. I got my nifty headphones too, because I'm not like playing. We're just going to play through some stuff. Oh, this will be fine. This will be great. That means I can make this video in like freaking 5 minutes. These are the X50s. All right, let me shut that off. Let's see. All right. Oh, this is so weird, man. It's weird with the headphones on. All right, so little setup. Now we're just gonna play through some stuff. Here, I'll start with what I was working on with the last video, which was getting the cabs set up. Here's Greenbacks. This is just with the Marshall. This is on the Greenback is a 57 and our PR20. And they're just, everything's at 0. There's no blend. It's just fully all in. See, I don't like listening on headphones though. It's cool. We'll have fun. Greenback, same thing. And then Vintage 30, 57, 160. You know, it's funny. I'm really digging on that Vintage 30 cab, man. Greenback. I mean, that's mostly what I've been using since I don't know, man. Maybe the last year. Well, maybe since I came, because my assistant in Raleigh was all about the greenbacks. I was all about the vintage 30s, and then we had a bunch of cabinets that I had done the X patterns with it, where I had like 2 greenbacks, 2 vintage 30s, and then I was like, I don't want to do that, so I had one of each, and little by little I got more into the greenbacks. And but now listening like this, like I'm enjoying the vintage 30s. So yeah, Greenback PR20 or 57 PR20. I think it's clipping a little bit. Give me 1 second. Let me turn this down just a hair. How loud is that? Yeah, it's a little bit. I could hear a little clipping. So here we go. Yeah, that's Greenback, and here is vintage 30. That's nice. They're both nice. So Greenback again. Let's listen to individual. Here's 57 and PR20. Yeah, it's not like I could pull that PR20 even more like kind of off axis and more on the cone. Get it a little darker. I don't know. I like that combo though. Vintage 30. Anyway, there you go. There's the 2 of those. Now my primary amps, which now that I have them all here, is, you know, Marshall, Vox, Fender, and Matchless in a sense. Here's that Fender. I'll turn this back up. Fender Supersonic 22. Hear that little creaking? Right here, listen to this. That is my Strat. Every time I grab the tremolo, and I had the dude at Guitar Center set it up. He did such a good job, and he said I slightly floated it, and I was like, oh, I'm such a creature of habit. I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds like a terrible idea, but you know, I and then I realized it wasn't creaking anymore. It was creaking because it was just laying there, and then as soon as I went, there was a little. As soon as tension came into the spring, I'd get this, and it was terrible. I was like, how am I going to even use this thing? Now it doesn't do that, and now the Strat is so beautiful. The way he set it up, oh my God, perfect. It's funny, you know, people will talk smack a little bit about some of these newer Fenders. I think that thing sounds killer, man. That's the Supersonic 22, and it's got 3 modes. It's got this first mode, which is the left side without the switch pushed in, which is basically the circuit of a deluxe reverb, the classic Nashville thing. And then that same side, you push it in, it goes more to a Bassman. And then there's a second side, which is like a high gain or like a hard rock, like modded Bassman Marshall thing. And all 3 of them are really nice. I probably like the Bassman side, the left with the Bassman, the least. And it's cool though, and I think it'll be cool once I'm working with it, and you know, it's going to have a certain thing, but man, that deluxe side, when you crank it, it is just unbridled rock and roll. All right, same amp. So here's, yeah, the same thing, the Supersonic. Yeah, buddy. That's great. And I think all of these 3 were all through the Greenback Cab. This is my AC30, which has very little low end. See, I'm turning it down. I've been watching all of these videos with all of these session guitar players, and they're all talking about like recording with less and less low end. This is a little lean for me, but it could. Anyway, you get the idea. Here is the AC30. Yeah, that's really nice too. I'd add probably a little bit of bass. I'd make it a little louder too. It seemed a little tame. Here is, and these two are probably both with my Strat. This is Les Paul. This is the 77 Marshall. Rock and roll. And here's the Ocean Mod. And again, all of these are through just the Greenback Cab. It's nice. So now check it out. Let's go back to the AC30 into the Greenback Cab. And now here's the AC30 into the Vox Box into the AC30 Cab. They call it the Ace Top. It's like a 212 open back. Oh, hey, that really wasn't so good. Take two. That's nice too. Again, these are real thinner. I've been backing off. Yeah, that's got a little more volume. Let me make it even. So here's the Cab. And Aux. They're both cool. They're different. So here's the Ocean Mod through the Cab. And now here is the Axe Effects with the Atomica, which is like a Cameron modded Marshall. Too much low end. Let's just, for argument's sake, because we're arguing, it's a little too much low end and needs a little bit of high end. So again, this is the Atomica Axe Effects. That's Axe Effects, and here is my Ocean through the Greenback. You could tweak that to be pretty close. Ocean Mod Cab. Axe Effects. You get the volumes. Okay, let me turn up the Axe Effects a little bit here. So Cab and Billy. And Axe Effects. That's pretty darn close. It's nice. I mean, I think that my Ocean Mod with the Cab is, I mean, that's what I would choose in that scenario. But that's pretty dang close. The nice thing is there's some really nice setups in Axe Effects. The Rectos are great. The Matchlesses are great. You know, there's a few of them. Some of the Friedman stuff. There's a few of them. There's the Matchless. There's also there's a lot of like clean 80s kind of Rockman stuff too that's really good. So yeah, so back to Cameron Ocean in Cab and Axe Effects. Yeah, so there it gives you an idea. Now we'll end it with this. This is the Cat 5. This is category 5. It's the Brad Paisley 40 amp, and this is the side that is, well, here, I'll play a second of the Tweed. I'm not so into the Tweed, but I'll play it for you. And I don't know what guitar. I'm probably on my Strat. See, that'd be better with something like almost like maybe P90 or Les Paul, like kind of musty, smaller sound. That would be cool. It's not bad. But here is that same amp now in the first set of inputs, or the first input, which is kind of a replica of a Samson era matchless. Yeah, that's nice. It's really nice. That's going to be really cool and fun and inspire its own playing or its own parts. All right, so going back to what we started with, here is the Greenback Cab. And Vintage 30. Something I'm not... The mics might not be optimal. There feels like there's a little rub. You know, and again, these are all even. You know, you would probably do more of that. Yeah, see that to me is better than this. Yeah, see, I don't like that. That's too much. So here's the Greenback. And that's with the PR20 down lower, which is kind of like a little bit impersonating a ribbon, though it's not, because it's not far enough out. It's still too, like, has too much a kind of attack. Anyway, here's the Vintage 30 with that same blend with the ribbon down. Yep, that M160 just makes me want to turn it up, man. Oh, man, I just love those mics. Anyway, make that even. That just wants that. You could almost go the other way. You know, it's a little softer, but it's really full. Yeah, that's nice. Or the other way. Yeah, I kind of almost like that even, right? Maybe even a 57 down a little bit. I mean, depending on how you wanted that pick attack. All right, kids. Anyway, so this is the second video in the series, and it is going to be rolling. I've made some decisions based on where my head is at these days, and I am going to start to put a lot of energy into making my own music, and I don't know for what reason right now. You know, I mean, obviously I could shop it to artists, I could shop it to for licensing, but I need to make some music without any other influence, like other people, and I just need to make do my own thing a little bit, which I haven't. Honestly, I have barely done that in 12 years, 13 years. I did a little bit in Raleigh. I've done a little bit here, but it's just reached a point where, it's just time. I also really want to start back studying. I've been playing guitar every day. I played last night for like an hour or two, just like running scales, just getting my fingers kind of moving. I know what I want to do now. I've been watching like a lot of like Steve Lukather and Tim Pierce and this Tom Bukovic, and I want to get like a little bit of that swing thing in my playing, and just be more playing to the chords, still doing the block thing that I do, but kind of expanding. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do, because it's just gotten to a point where I don't know how people wear headphones all day. Good Lord. Like, I don't like in-ears. I'm just like, I don't like that whole thing. Anyway, see, now I'm like in a different reality. I can't even think of what to say. Before I was like this. But, yeah, that's what's going down. So, yeah. Probably just do everything myself and then bring in some friends, for added goodness. Maybe do some writing with some people. But, yeah, the last few months have been a little bit of a wake-up call. Just time to do your own thing too, man. I mean, work's good, so that's, everything's good there, but I don't know, it's, I don't know, it's just, be nice to have like a little, have freedom with music a little bit too, it's not, because when you're doing it for other people, like, you're trying to figure out what they want, how to make them happy, how to make, if they're signed to a label, how to make the label happy, how to make everybody happy. And it's like, man, jeez. I just want to play some damn music, just have fun. I feel like getting in a cover band. To be totally honest with you, I feel like going out there and just playing Give Me 3 Steps. Give me 3 steps. Anyway. One funny story. So, in Nashville, you're surrounded by people that are like uber talented and very into music. And there's a amazing breakfast place here in East Nashville called the Nashville Biscuit House. And it was one of the first places that we hung, because it was like the first place where they loved my kids. When you have like two unruly boys, sometimes you walk into restaurants and they just look at you like, please go somewhere else. But they loved my kids, and so we hung there a lot. But we were there about 2 weeks ago, and on the radio came Give Me 3 Steps. And all of a sudden, when the vocals kicked in, and I could hear people all through the restaurant singing. And I thought, that's a hit song. Those opening lyrics, it's such a great song. And everybody was sitting there singing. And I thought of the scene in Almost Famous when they're in the bus and they've all been fighting, and world's coming to an end for them. And then all of a sudden this song comes on, and they start. So I'm in the restaurant. Give Me 3 Steps stops, ends. I'm thinking about this scene in the movie. And all of a sudden, Tiny Dancer comes on. And I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. And when it kicked in, Blue Jean Baby, you could hear people throughout the restaurant just singing real lightly. It was wild, man. It was wild. And the whole scene, just like in Almost Famous, Ballerina. And everybody on the bus started to sing. I thought we were all going to bust into Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Anyway, true story. Like and subscribe.